Hey, California is allowing men into women's prisons. That's right. Welcome back to Bible Bears, guys. I'm Ryder Cullison. So the governor of California signed a bill recently allowing anybody who identifies as transgender or gender non-binary, which basically means you're not any gender, I guess. Put that in the comment section below. I looked it up. It doesn't really make sense to me, but you don't identify with male or female, so I guess it's kind of more fluid. You can be whatever you want. Moving on. The bill allows anybody who identifies as transgender or gender non-binary to go to whichever prison they want. That's right. So the idea that a woman identifying as a man would go into a man's prison is pretty much unlikely. So what we're really talking about here is it opens the door for any man who wants to go into women's prison to do so. The California Department of Corrections cannot deny an inmate's request to be placed into an opposite-sex facility based solely on anatomy. So you essentially have people like this that can go into a women's prison. Is this smart? Is this smart? Absolutely not. I don't even have to go into detail in this video the reasons why this is so idiotic. You can determine that for yourself, but I'm going to read a quote to you from Natasha Chart. She's the board chair of the Women's Liberation Front, which sounds kind of like a militant movement, but anyway, she's not happy with this either. She says, "This constitutes a depraved indifference to the safety and dignity of women held in custody." And she continues on by saying, look, this would be in violation of the Geneva Convention. And she's probably right. So why does Governor Newsome do this? Well, because anything that appears to benefit the LGBT community, he basically automatically signs. He signed at the same time a bill, which I discussed a few weeks ago in my videos, providing funding for anybody who wants to transition. That includes places to stay, who wants to transition from one gender to another. That includes funding for giving them a place to stay, hormone treatment, and so on. And of course, people are arguing against that bill because gender hormone therapy, gender transition therapy, when you add in the drugs and so on, sterilizes children. This is not fear-mongering, this is fact. It sterilizes children, and 10, 11-year-old children are not equipped mentally to make that decision. There are real-life consequences to undergoing that therapy. So other than that, he signed in this bill because, quite frankly, he's an idiot. Is he really an idiot? I don't know. I would hope that the people of California did not elect such an imbecile. But clearly, people in their Senate or their House, whoever approves such bills, are ate up with ignorance. They're all nincompoops. How can you sign such a bill into effect? Now, I touch upon the fact that maybe they're just consumed with activism. If it has anything to do with LGBT, clearly we must benefit and help these people. What you fail to realize, and maybe you guys at home have already been clued into that, have already riddled this out, is that there are LGBT people in women's prisons. Maybe some of the same-sex oriented women who are in prisons don't want men coming in and raping them. Men in men's prisons get beaten up and sexually assaulted routinely. These men who don't want to get raped every other week are going to be seeking sanctuary in a women's prison. But that doesn't mean these are all 5'6", 120-pound weaklings. They're going to be men larger than me. And they're going to go into these prisons, and what's going to happen to them? I don't know. What happens to men that are sexually abused? Oftentimes, I think they sexually abuse others. And now you've got women who are physically inferior in terms of strength, dexterity, and so on. and maybe just plain old malicious ferociousness. What's going to happen to them? They're vulnerable. They're going to be vulnerable to a male population. And I see nothing in this bill that suggests that these men have to start taking estrogen or undergo any type of therapy. And if they did, that could take weeks or months before that gets instituted. So what happens to them when they're in this male population? I don't know that they're separated, because what would be the point of that? They're women. They're women, so they just get inserted in the female population along with everybody else. Does this make any sense to you? Does California make any sense to you? I don't know. So what we see here is women's rights from the get-go being stomped all over, and LGBT rights being stomped all over. Maybe not the T, but the LGB. Now this whole faction is going to be at war with itself. Why? Because people have no common sense in California. If you don't like California, go to another state, but don't vote for these crazy liberal policies which are hurting the LGBT community. And they're going to hurt the children in the LGBT community. Guys, what do you think? Leave your comments below. I'm sure you have lots of them, but I don't think I'm way off base here. I don't think I'm being intolerant. I don't think I'm being bigoted. I think I'm just exercising some common sense. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. I don't even know if the bell's still there, but hit that bell notification so that you'll be alerted when I post new videos. Guys, I love you. I'm praying for you. In California, I'm praying for you. Everybody, we should put our palms together and just pray that common sense oozes throughout the legislature there. Holy Spirit, wake these people up. Have a blessed week. Take care.